Today's video will show you how to improvise on Silent Night in D major, utilizing our 1, our 4, and our 5/7 chords. You can check out some other videos that go through the process of how to harmonize that melody by adding in those 3 chords in a contemporary manner with our 5s going to our 4. With the use of Roman numerals in that video and this video as well, you can transpose it to any key that fits within your voice range or to accompany an instrumentalist. I have provided 2 other videos as well for practice tempo at 60 BPM and the performance tempo of 76. That way you can play that melody and you can practice out these patterns that I show you today, and also use these patterns as a jumping off point for you to improvise your own patterns that you like as well. When considering accompaniment patterns, you want to determine the style and the mood of the music. It is called Silent Night. It was written for a Christmas Eve Mass in 1818, so it's loved for its simplicity and its tranquility. So think about that. You want to start fairly simple in the chords, and as it progresses, it becomes more intense into the 3/4 of the way through the piece. You can move the rhythms in a faster pattern as well. So I will show you 5 different accompaniment patterns that you can use and modify as you like. We'll start with the left hand. The left hand, I'm going to use that common pattern of the root, the 5th, and the root. Fingers 5, 2, 1. So I would just go through and block that position in roots all the way through. Measure 2. And you can decide if you go up or down. I would draw in arrows to show your direction. Back to the 1 chord. Measure 5 to the 5 chord. 5, 7. I'm going to substitute that octave for the 7th as G. G major, 5 to 4, back down to D. And I would even just go through and continue to reduce that pattern. Measure 9, G chord, twice in a row, measure 11, D chord, measure 13, G chord, measure 15, A chord, back down to the D, measure 17, A chord, A7, substitute the G for the A, drop it down to the G, G, D, G, back home to 1, 21, stay on D. I'm going to choose to go lower for this 5, 7, G chord, back up to the D. It will sound much more beautiful when I go to arpeggiate those chords, but that's just to set that kinesthetic feeling of chord positions in the left hand so it becomes automatic, as the right hand is going to be somewhat busy in these accompaniment patterns I'll show you today. Once you've worked through the left hand in those root position chords of the root, 5th, and the root, I would go through and determine what you'd like to do with your right hand. So for the right hand, I'm going to choose to play it in 1st or 2nd inversions, never root position. That way there's some harmonic interest from that left hand in root position chords. So on your manuscript that you'll see on the screen, I've notated the Roman numeral next to the chord symbol. That way you can transpose it as you like. And then I have the right hand inversion. So it starts out as right hand 1st inversion in pattern 1. Measure 2, I've gone up to a right hand 2nd inversion is the D over A. A chord, right hand will be an A over C sharp. Measure 4, D back over A. And you can certainly write in what the right hand has for a lead sheet just to give you further guidance. Okay, so let's talk through some of these different patterns. I have 5 patterns. That's a lot for one playthrough, but I wanted to give you some ideas. You could choose one of these patterns, played all the way through in that manner. You could choose 2 or 3. You can modify what I have. But I want to give you some ideas, that way you can play it to Silent Night and in any other piece you'd like to play as well. So to start off, you'll see this wavy symbol, which is the arpeggiation symbol. So I'm going to roll from the left hand up to the right hand. 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. I'm going to fill in a little higher counter melody. Notice the octave higher sign means that the right hand will be played an octave higher. It just makes it easier to read on the staff. This lets you use your pedal. I'm going to change the pedal on downbeats. Lets me move my hands in between while this pedal sustains. Measure 5. Right hand's an A over E. Goes down to the A7. 5 to 4. Back home to the 1. Okay, I'm at pattern number 2, starting at measure 9. So I'm going to start to move these rhythms a little faster. This is where you'll use your hand-over-hand arpeggio technique I taught in another video. So the left hand will arpeggiate root, 5th root, 1st inversion, left hand goes over. You play that rhythm, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, move the left hand. A little syncopation there. And if that's hard at first, you can certainly just block through these chords. You could block at measure 9, left hand, right hand left over measure 11, left, right hand over F sharp. Pattern number 3 at measure 13. It's very similar. So it's going to arpeggiate all the way up and down. A chord, D chord. Again, you can go through and block those to set the hand positions. Here's measure 13, pattern 3. G over D, left hand over. This is at the climax of the piece. So I'm going to add in more chord tones by blocking right hand harmonies and arpeggiating both hands. At measure 18 into 19 there'll be more chord tones, and then I'll de-intensify the mood, the last 2 measures of that line, by some slower left hand rhythms. So I'll play that so you can hear it. Also go through and reduce those into their hand positions. Right hand up to root position there. G chord, G over B, first inversion, D. And the final pattern number 5 as we go into the ending here, I'm going to play my right hand alone so you can just hear it. The right hand is in beautiful 6th harmonies below that right hand melody. It's going to double the rhythm of the melody. Arpeggiate out of it. Left hand is arpeggiating through those chords. Left hand, hand over hand arpeggio technique, ending on the 3rd, the beautiful 3rd of that. You could also block through those hand positions, measure 21. D, right hand D over A, goes down. Block the right hand over F sharp, over to the left hand. Okay, so let's talk about some practice techniques beyond the reduction practice. As you were reducing, you hopefully went into those chord inversions and arpeggio fingerings that I've taught within previous videos, so use those common fingering patterns. The pedal would change on every downbeat, unless like at the pattern number 2, measure 9 to 10, I would keep that as changing every 2 measures, that way you don't lose your bass tone. Keep that as every 2 measures for the pedal. And then pedal here, and pedal. Okay, so in summary, you can pause it after any one of those accompaniment patterns, notate it, take a screenshot, that way you can incorporate that improv into your favorite Christmas carol, your favorite pop piece that you're playing. Choose one of those, just practice all the way through. Try it out with that slower practice tempo. You can build it up to that faster practice tempo. You can practice with metronome, build it up slowly, 2 to 4 BPMs each time. To finish up, I'm going to play all the way through with that performance tempo at 76. You'll hear that intro for 3 count off, and then I'll play it through those 5 patterns. So enjoy.